Now this had also by the time he was coming, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm half asleep. I've been sitting there since 10. Come on.
All right, y'all. You're working on a 2011 Ford Flex today. First thing you want to do when doing the alternators is, of course, unhook your batteries. Make sure nothing is touching. No, they're not touching. We had to remove our air filter assembly. Hose right here. Connector right here. Pull this red tab out, then squeeze the black tab. On this particular job, these fans have to come out. So we're in the process of undoing these hooks that hook into the fans. Then we're gonna unplug our fans, and then we're gonna take the 2 bolts out. Stay tuned. This is how you get in there and get that second 8mm for the fans. It's down there. And your fans can start coming out. You gotta take that top radiator hose out in order to get the fans out. You gotta kind of work them out of there. And once you work them out of there, you just take them out. Just like that. Put them on the ground. Got a coolant leak. That's okay. And then there's the alternator. Gotta get a 3/8 ratchet down there on that tensioner, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. This is what I use, a 3/8, but of course the 3/8 is too small, so I put a wrench on it for torque and slid the belt off the generator. There's the pulley. And what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this electrical connector. Okay guys, I skipped ahead in the repair a little bit, but no worries. As you can see, there is what my ratchet is on. It's on a 15mm bolt that goes through the bottom of the alternator. Then as you can see, this stud right here, it's an 8mm. It's gonna have a 15mm nut on it. You're gonna remove that 15mm nut and then back it out with a 7mm on this head of the stud. And as you can see, you got plenty of room with the fans being gone and your upper radiator hose disconnected to take your alternator out. So just put it back in there, line it up with that bottom bolt first. Then you can come up top and line your stud up. Then right now what I'm doing is tightening up the bottom bolt. Then that way we can come up to the top, tighten up the stud, and then go ahead and put our nut on and go ahead and start wrapping this job up, guys. Pretty simple job. Any mechanically inclined person can do it. Remember, if somebody else built it, you can fix it. All right guys, I just tightened the bottom bolt up. This is what I use, 1/2" ratchet with an adapter on it, 15mm. This is what I was speaking about earlier as far as the stud. It just threads in there, guys. It's a little mounting point on the block that it just threads in there. 7mm. Just thread it in there. Then we're gonna hook our connector back up. We're gonna go ahead and hook our power wire for our alternator back up. No need to remove any belt tensioner. And just like that, guys, I just did that while recording. Unfortunately, I do not have a cameraman, so there is no one to hold my camera. It's 2 hooks on the fan assembly. They just hook onto the actual radiator. And what you want to do is line that hole back up for your 8mm bolt, And with that radiator hose out the way, you can see your second 8mm bolt. And then we'll work on getting everything plugged back in. Alright guys, we got all the prongs back into the frame. All the prongs hooked up. For our wiring harness back into the fan assembly. This goes into our mass airflow sensor. This goes into the air tube assembly. Hook this back up to your AC sensor. Make sure you hook up your PCV valve as well. Hose, I'm sorry. And hook our battery back up, guys, and you should be good to go. But this is it. That's the repair. Hour and a half.